Does anybody else have a question for Komi? Or something that they'd like to mention?
Claudie Stockman just jumped on. Claudie, are you there? Can you speak? Did you have anything to share or ask?
Oh, yes, thank you. I just want to tell Mr. Komi that is an exceptionally wonderful presentation. Everything you say is right on, and especially this last part about you've got to be ready to handle the difference in vibrations when you approach a higher level of being. The all is, which is what we in the new presentation aspire to become aware of it and recognize it in our everyday lives, is that next step we all want to take. So as you speak about it, you give us and everybody else important information that is current and what is helping others to get to this point. It's a long journey. You just don't wake up in the morning and jump out of bed and you're ready to go. No, you have to prepare first. You've got to, take a bath or brush your hair or eat breakfast or something and then find a ride to work or go to school. Everything takes preparation. And to share what you're doing with others is a most beneficial gift to give to this planet and the people living on it. As they listen to your words, more and more enlightenment, I'm going to say, comes out in their lives. Maybe in a movie, a book, or they meet a friend. Somewhere like that is where it comes, and it helps. We need to progress. We've got to get out of our slumber, our sleep. We're just too sleepy to get up and see the real light that's here in front of us. And so it takes time. And when more than one person stands up and says something, thank you. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. That's all we can give to each other because the spiritual guides, they are giving to us for free. They don't request anything from us. It's just for them, that's it. That's all they want to do. It's being of service to each soul that is ready, each soul that is willing to take the journey back home. So as they are doing that, we hybrid humans that are here on this planet on different locations, in different places in the universe, we are doing our part too by providing all the information that we are receiving from those guys to our fellow man, to our fellow beings that we are sharing different location, planet, or universe with.
Did anybody else have any questions for Komi that they want to mention? I was wondering do you know about universal or what are they called, Lords of Karma, and what their purpose is?
The Lord of Karma. It's very interesting that most of the time I'll talk about I will use our system here on Earth to kind of give a comparison because it's easier for people sometimes to understand that way. Everything that we do here, if you take, for instance, our banking system is a very narrow reflection of what the karmic relation between beings are and what the laws of karma are all about. If you go to a bank, for instance, you make a loan. You make a loan, and they will give you that loan. They'll tell you, okay, if you pay that loan at this time, you are not going to accrue any interest. If you go beyond that time, then the interest starts to accrue. If you go even further, you don't pay, then now there are penalties that are going to jump in on those. It's the same thing. The Lord of Karma are actually very neutral beings. They don't have any bias against anything. They are just there when you go to a location, you take a reincarnation. You take another body in a particular location. All that you do with that body within that lifetime is recorded within the universal mind. The law of karma are out there they are like the bookkeepers, if you want to call it that way. But that's a very, very narrow way of describing them. In a sense, they're out there. When the time comes for you to go back, leave the body again permanently and go, you're going to go, if you don't have a particular master or particular guide that you are working with, you go in front of the Lord of Karma. And they are the ones that are going to pull the book of life out and go through the book of life, and, you will see it with them. It's right there. There's nobody telling you, oh, you did this wrong, no. You as soul, when you are out of the body, you see, because when you are taking the body, what you actually did was you work with the Lord of Karma or a particular guy that is you select what you want to go learn or what you want to work on in a particular lifetime. When we come here on the planet or someplace in the universe, sometimes we forget because the veil, as soon as you take that body, the veil is pulled down. You're not going to remember everything. So you do the best you can. And then when you leave again, now you know everything again. You see what you did, where you fall, the schedule that you set up for yourself. If you didn't make it, you know why you didn't make it. And then the Lord of Karma will work with you and say, okay, this is what you're going to gain from that. This is what you're going to have to pay off. And then you rough this soul very bad in this lifetime. So you guys work it out. This is how you're going to pay him back and so on and so forth. So the Lord of Karma, they work with all the spiritual beings of every planet or every location throughout the universes. They keep the record. They are the ones that are the safeguard and the gatekeepers of our movement out of the body and going back and forth.
And another thing, how do you see what is called the Supreme Deceptor?
The Supreme Deceptor. Are we talking about the Kal Niranja, the negative force, or?
No, I wouldn't call it Kal.
He's the Supreme Deceptor. He's the overseer of the etheric level, the fifth level of creation.
Is that the illusion?
Well, Claudia, do you want to share an experience you've had with the Supreme Deceptor?
Well, mostly what is given out to people who come into contact with this creature, entity, whatever you want to call it, is a fierce meeting. It requires you to be strong inside to be able to handle a conversation, because it looks upon you as nothing, an interruption in its day or its business, and so would much prefer you to go back down into the lower planes where you don't know anything, you can't remember anything, and you're lost, and to keep doing that. It is not one creature that you want to interact with. It brings negativity forth and brings it in such powerful waves that it leaves you distraught somewhat. And so, yes, you can talk to the Supreme Deceptor. You can interact with the Supreme Deceptor, but you will have experiences that will leave you totally confused, because its job is to mislead you, to not tell you the truth, and to give you false information. So if you are aware of these ways that it acts, then you can better navigate that plane. Each plane has its own opportunities, I'll say, to learn more and to see more and to do more. And the reason we need to learn more is so that we can become aware of when we are being presented with false information. Like you can meet a clone walking down the street of someone, and it's not the real person. And whatever the clone tells you is false information. So it is up to us to save ourselves. Nobody's coming to rescue you. You have got to educate yourself and save yourself from deception. That's the job of the Supreme Deceptor. It's to deceive you and get you off the light, off of trying to find more enlightenment in your life, more information. Knowledge is just enlightenment. It's a light that you acquire because you know more. So you glow better than you did before you knew something. But in glowing, you are also a target for others to, oh, we found one. Now let's deceive this person and see if we can tap line them and get them in our employ, so to speak, as a slave. When you're tap lined, you're a slave. You do what they want you to do. They know how to activate your emotions or your thought processes in a certain way to do a certain thing. And they're past masters at doing this. The Supreme Deceptor is a past master. It got its rulership by defeating others. And that's how it became the ruler of that plane of existence. These people are not there to be nice or anything like that. They're there to fulfill their infinite journey and their agenda. And if they can trick you or use you for any benefit for them, then they will. And it's up to us to learn how to recognize these deceptions. It takes time and effort, but it's worth it because then you are not fooled again. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So we have to learn. And this lifetime is an opportunity. There's so much available right now. What Mr. Komi has said has just opened doors and windows and let in more light, more information, fresh air. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks, Claudie.
Thanks,
Also,
that was very informational.
do you see what you call the Cal, or some would call Grog, the governor lord of the mental realm, as having three heads, the beneficial or benevolent head and the evil head, and the one that's called the influence or the Supreme Deceptor?
Well, the Cal is like Claudia said, it's the law of a particular plane. Being a lord of that plane, it governs that plane and anything that is below it. So, for the fact that we are still in the lower world, which is the law of duality, the Cal will present itself as the negative force. Is the one that is the being that is in charge of tempering soul. What I mean by tempering soul is giving all the necessary lessons for soul, so that if one pass those lessons, then one is ready to have the key to get into the higher world, which is starting from the fifth plane, the plane of soul. So it is, in a sense, the positive, the negative, and the middle part. All three connected at the same time, but its main purpose is to be the ruler of the negative world, and as such, temper, trick, do anything that it will do to keep soul in this lower realm. But if you go, you see the car with the right teacher or the right guide is a teacher, just like any teacher. All the lessons that you need to learn will be given to you, will be bestowed upon you for the next move that you can take.
And how would you see you connected with the real guides?
All the guides within creation, the real God is not asking anything of you. All that is asking of you is for you to do the different exercise that is going to be given to you. Because when the guides look upon you as a student, all they see is themselves. If anybody tell you otherwise, that's not a true guide, because they know for sure that they have been through the same place that you are now. All the knowledge is within you. It takes somebody that has the key to open it for you. So a true guide will be able to unlock all the doors for you in such a way that spiritual exercise that are needed for you to evolve and go to the next level is going to be given to you, because they know how to do so. A true guide will have everything that is needed to take you within yourself. A false guide will not be able to do that. It's just going to be a talk. But if a guide is really a guide that has the connection with the divine, will open the door for you and take you with him within the higher world. So the test is that guide is going to be able to give you the spiritual exercise that is needed as full for soul to be bright again. When you are polishing a mirror, you're polishing the mirror, you have to be able to polish the mirror in such a way that it will reflect the light and sound. If a guide cannot do that for you, that's not a true guide. You need to keep looking.
Yeah, thanks, Komi, for all your answers. And what we call real awareness, and just like you were saying, individuals that have taken the time to recognize the all is, or whatever you want to call that, what everything is. Does Henry or anybody else have any questions or comments they'd like to share? Or Komi,
sure,
do you have anything? Yeah, go ahead,
yeah,
Henry.
Sure, thanks, Tim and Komi. This has been fun listening, and it's been cool to hear your experiences, Komi. You've had lots of interesting experiences, and it's cool to share. That's what it makes. That's what we do, is we share our experiences with others, and it's a bit of fun, and it's a lot of fun, and others can see more from what we see, and everybody can just continue to see more of the isness life is, and kind of just recognize more and more and more every moment, and become more and more and more of what life is. And so it's cool to get the view of what you have been through and compare it to what I've been through, and others that I've met. Is always meeting new individuals or beings here in the physical and on the real side too, and also because you use some different terms and things that to us, so it's interesting to hear, and your view on things is slightly different, but in a lot of ways it's similar too. So it's been really cool. And I just did have one question, about if you've seen like any of the Facebook groups that Dwayne writes. He's always writing new groups, and he just wrote one about the 5G, and he writes things about like real. He just wrote another one today about real psychology or something, and they're always really fun new updates as Dwayne gets views, and I write things sometimes too, and we have fun with that. So I was just wondering if you've been seeing much of what we've been doing, and if you could maybe share a little view on that just before we finish up. We got about 5 minutes left here.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of listening to some of the things that you do on the blog, and comparing it with things that the followers of Ekankar are doing also, comparing it with also what people in tribes and different tribes in Africa are doing. It's everything. It's all the same, in a sense. It's just the semantic that we use, the language that we use because of cultural barriers. The language that I will use, for instance, to describe the same thing that, Dwayne is talking about. When I go in my tribe in Africa, it's going to be in my language. So words that I will use to explain it are going to be words that are going to be understood by my people. So that doesn't mean necessarily that it's different. It's all the same. All the teachers, they will say the same thing. It's only the same language that we are speaking, but in a different location. And we have to use a different semantic to express the knowledge that is coming from within. So I do follow it. I usually, like last Friday, I was listening to Val on the blog, and I didn't want to, make any comment because I was driving. But I like listening to you when I'm driving home and things like that, because that's how we share, and that knowledge is being shared by Dwayne and by Val and you and everybody else out there. This is what the universe needs.
Yeah,
cool.
great.
Thanks,
It's been nice. Yeah. Well, I guess we've just about come to the end of our time that we're allowed to be on Blog Talk Radio. I've got a little paragraph here that Phoebe Kwan's dictated to Paul Twitchell. Thought I'd share this with everyone. It says, "The voice speaks to all who listen. It speaks in the whisper of the wind, the roar of the sea, and the voices of birds and animals, in all things. It tells all who listen that it will never bring riches, fame, wealth, healing, or happiness to those who seek these mundane gratifications." Thanks for being on today, and we'll probably see everybody next Wednesday at 3 o'clock Pacific Daylight Saving Time. And I'll end the show with singing the new You song.
Thank you all.
You. Thanks. See ya.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks again, everybody. See ya.